SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly.
Sure. Yeah, that's the key, developing those relationships. So. Yeah. Good. Yeah. How's your dad? Good, good. Tell him I said hello when you see him, or talk to him, please. Okay, we'll do. All right, Eric, we should be good to go. Thanks.
SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly.
Northern is 5 and no, that's not. What in the world?
3 and 4, 2 and 1. It says here.
Where are you?
Okay, 2 and 1. Okay, so they beat.
So they lost. They beat Octorara. They lost to Susquehanna. They lost 35-0 to Middletown.
And lost to Mechanics.
33.
Yeah, 3 and 4, 2 and 1 in the league. They're tied with us.
Beat Big Spring 34-7. 24-13 loss to Waynesboro. Beat Mifflin County 28-7.
Waynesboro's undefeated in the division.
SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly.
We can't even blame this one on Monadora.
Louisville does that for spite. They don't let them travel up here. They don't like our facilities.
Someone dropped some money down front in the walkway there at the,
All the way down.
well, just right there at the front of the bleachers there. You know, it wasn't in the grass, but
Oh, okay. All right.
it's $2, but it's not mine. I was sitting there talking, everybody's trying to give it to me.
Thanks.
Come on out. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheerleader money. We'll be saying, then you got about 100 people up there.
That's all I have the numerical movement share. You can read it, it's small.
You have some cash money that was turned in the press box was found in front of the concrete bleachers.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
It won't get you a
3 days
pizza,
in
but it
Clearfield
will buy you
area,
a soda.
Pittsburgh. But I'm okay.
Check your cash flow.
What's new?
Nothing to pull cover on today, or not the liner, I mean, today.
Got the liner in? Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
Does it?
New carpet in the back porch today.
Saw your dog's preference for beverages. And it's cute.
SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly. SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly.
So Northern brings a semi-truck for their band, and they got, 30 members in the band?
Yeah, they got that.
SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly. 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 SESportsNet.com live programming begins shortly.
SC Sportsnet, the exclusive home for Greyhound sports.
Back to pass. Livingston lets it loose up the near sidelines, and he has Norman at the 40. Norman at the 30. Norman's going to go all the way for the Greyhound touchdown.
Geiger kicks it outside, and Geiger's going to score. 3 wide receivers to the far side, back to pass. Gustafson's going to throw it out there in the slot again, and this is Wade Mills. He's going to get it for the touchdown.
It's picked off by Wade Mills at the 35. Mills back across midfield. Mills at the 30, cuts to the inside, he's at the 20. Wade Mills at the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown Wade Mills.
SE Sportsnet is proud to bring you Shippensburg Greyhound football. Tonight, Shippensburg hosts the Northern York Polar Bears. Shippensburg Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet is presented by the Kramer Insurance Agency and brought to you by New Life Painting, Kathy's Deli, Premier Events, The News Chronicle, Rita's of Shippensburg, and Chamberlain's Pest Control. Now it's time for the Greyhound Countdown to Kickoff. Live from Veterans Stadium at Memorial Park, here's Scott Smith, Rob Ebersole, and J.D. Davidson.
The Friday night lights are on at Veterans Stadium in Shippensburg. Tonight, the 5-2 Greyhounds host the 3-4 Northern Polar Bears. Hi again, everybody. Welcome into SE Sportsnet coverage of Shippensburg Greyhound football. J.D. Davidson, partner Rob Ebersole, and Scott Smith with you on week 8 of the high school football season. Shippensburg last week in a gutsy performance and a big victory. Kept them in great contention in the District 3 playoffs with a big win last week. But tonight, Northern Polar Bear opponent Rob, who can throw just about anything at Shippensburg and has given Shippensburg fits the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and seems like especially down in Dillsburg, we have trouble beating them. And, of course, last year they lost in the regular season, came back and beat Northern in the playoffs. This year, Northern at 3-4, 2-1 in the Colonial Division, but they have some good talent, Scott. I mean, they have a kid running back, Kyle Schwartz, has almost 1,000 yards and he scored 12 touchdowns. The quarterback, Chris Barrett, completing about 53% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, and he also has run for 481 yards. So they have some good, strong offensive players and a couple of good defensive players, too, and a extra point kicker that's pretty powerful. So it's going to be tough. Waynesboro is beat both these teams. Shippensburg has up to the number 4 in the rankings. Northern is 11th in the 4A rankings, and so that's a big incentive for them because if they would beat Shippensburg today, that's going to obviously help their District 3 playoff hopes.
Shippensburg and Northern both tied at 2-1 in the Colonial Division, as Rob mentioned, right behind Waynesboro. There's a lot on the line here tonight as we get deeper and deeper into the season. Last week, Shippensburg, gutsy defensive performance for the second week in a row, and Adam Hauser did a great job on the O side of the ball. Yeah,
he made some big plays when they had to. We're still waiting for 150-yard rushing game out of him. He certainly has not done that. Got to wonder if the ankle is yet 100%. He's only rushed for 356 yards, averaging a little less than 5 yards per carry. And actually, Philip Torres is the leading rusher with 443 yards. But Hauser did a great job, made a couple of good defensive plays, too, at the end. But that's again, we talk about this every week, Scott, that Hauser is that kind of a player that can really make a difference in the football game.
Yeah, and I think he has. A little kid, gutsy performance. He runs hard, but he has made a difference the last couple of weeks. Carter Van Syok had another pretty decent evening as well last week.
Yeah, and he's put up decent numbers this year. He's, again, 53% of his passes, the same as Barrett for Northern. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and over 1,000 yards. Just a matter of getting the wide receivers open and for him to have time for the offensive line to give him the time to find those receivers. Freidinger's caught some nice passes, so as Gustafson. And the X factor, that Ethan Stauffer over the middle of the field. He's come up with some big passes in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I thought they were really effective being able to throw the ball across the middle last week.
Yeah, they were, and it's something you'd hope that they would go and do more of. I talked about this last week about sometimes the offense they get in that little bit of a rut. I mean, they're calling the plays they want to run, but this run on first down and run on second down, and next thing you know, it's 3rd down and 6 or 3rd down and 7, and the defense can put some more pressure, blitz, whatever, and it kind of gives the defense the advantage over the offense.
Well, we couldn't ask for a better night in the middle of October. Temperatures in the upper 60s, no wind as the crowd files into Veterans Stadium. More in our Countdown to Kickoff show after these messages.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about. Every day, the Shippensburg News Chronicle makes it their business to cover local news. From breaking news to features, from local government to sports, the News Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News Chronicle. The print edition, the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News Chronicle has been reporting on the people and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com.
Advantage ChemDry understands that your pets are an important part of your family. But what happens when they cause messes? We have a revolutionary pet urine removal treatment that's specially formulated to eliminate urine odors. We offer full evaluations, including treating your subfloor, carpet, padding, and new flooring replacement. Stop being embarrassed by your pet's accidents and call me, Ashley, at 717-532-8676 or visit us online at AdvantageChemDry.com. Get $20 off your pet urine removal treatment.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted #1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend $1 gazillion on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Countdown to Kickoff continues from Veterans Stadium at Shippensburg's Memorial Park. Shippensburg Greyhounds taking on the Northern Polar Bears on Week 8 for this football campaign. And it's band night here at Veterans Stadium. The high school, middle school, and elementary music program on display here tonight. Notre Dame fight song being played by, what, Rob? We got a couple hundred of musicians out there.
There's a small city out there in the field.
That there is. Well, rather small crowd on hand tonight as we look toward Week 8. And what can we expect, partner?
Well, I think it's going to be a close game. I think Shippensburg's going to have to control the offense, control the tempo, and get up early against this Northern team because they have played us very, very well in the last couple of years, JD.
Yeah, down there last year, Shippensburg did get up early and so forth, and then things fell apart in the fourth quarter, and they chance to go undefeated in the Colonial Division went out the window. But then a couple weeks later, Shippensburg got Northern right here at home in the playoff game. Northern's offense was much more aggressive in that football game. They put up a few points, but Shippensburg made some defensive stands inside the 10-yard line, forced a couple turnovers, and came out with a win. And you all know what happened then the next week when Shippensburg beat Bishop McDevitt. But Northern always plays us tough, Rob. They, they might not have the offensive firepower that they've had in the past couple of years, but defensively they're always sound. Fundamentally sound. They play a 4-4 defense, and their linebackers are the key. They seem to know what they want to do against our offense, and they a lot of times beat us to the punch.
Yeah, and they have a couple of kids on offense that we're going to have to keep an eye on. That Schwartz kid, the running back with 12 touchdowns. But I just think that Shippensburg has to just keep the pressure on them. And as you said, last year in the fourth quarter, we kind of backed off a little bit, I think, and let them back in the game. And offensively, I think Shippensburg's going to have to be aggressive the whole 4 quarters.
Yeah, and they were able to do that last week. Field position has a lot to do with it, but when they were able to mix the pass and run and so forth, keep the other team off balance, they were able to move the ball and get some scores last week against Greencastle. And then they let that lead slip away in the third quarter, but then that just totally dominated the fourth quarter against Greencastle last week, putting up 2 scores to salt that game away. And the defense, looked really good in the fourth quarter as well against Greencastle after having an outstanding first half.
Yeah, I think it was a good fourth quarter to see, and Shippensburg needed, because the week before when we did the Mifflin County game, they just couldn't put this team away, and they had the chances to beat Mifflin County pretty well. They didn't, but last year they got down in the third quarter, came back and played a good fourth quarter, and that's a sign of a good team.
Yes, it is.
So the captains meeting at midfield for the ceremonial toss of the coin. Getting closer to kickoff here tonight. Glad to have you along on SE Sportsnet. Greyhounds in their home maroon uniforms with white numerals, and the Polar Bears with their white traveling uniforms and their purple numbers.
Adam Hauser, Philip Torres, Van Syok, and Kane Frieding are the 4 captains for the Greyhounds. And let's see. The old coin was tossed, but officials are still explaining things.
Looks like the Polar Bears may have won the toss. They have, and they're going to defend the south goal. Shippensburg will kick it away to get it started. Kickoff coming up next on SE Sportsnet.
It's kickoff time for Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth in Shippensburg. Here's Scott Smith and Rob Ebersole.
Opening kickoff tonight on SE Sportsnet, powered by Kramer Insurance, is sponsored by Rita's Ice Custard Happiness. Call 532-9886 for cool catering. Week 8, Shippensburg and the Polar Bears on SE Sportsnet. As the teams take the field, Shippensburg will deploy to our right to the north goal. Not a breath of wind here tonight. Just a gorgeous evening. Glad to have you along. So pull up a chair and enjoy the game tonight.
And this is a stretch of the last 3 games of the regular season, Scott. 3 teams that have a chance to derail Shippensburg, because Northern in the hunt, West Perry having a good year, and Big Spring is hanging around too. So 3 very big games for the Greyhounds.
Bryson Towson along with Kyle Swartz dropping back deep. Also, Evan Kasser is there. Teeing it up for Shippensburg will be Sterling Shetter. Near side of the 40-yard line for the Greyhounds. Swartz stands at about the 4-yard line awaiting Shetter's kick. And there's the referee whistle, and we're underway from Shippensburg. End-over-end kick going to be taken at the 18-yard line by Towson. Towson out across the 20, 25, 30, and down at the 33-yard line goes the Polar Bear running back, Eddie Ocker, coming up to make the tackle on the kickoff. And we're underway on this Friday night. Polar Bear offense is led by junior quarterback Chris Barrett, who's 6 feet, 175 pounds. As the Polar Bears will move left to right. They'll have running room to the far side of the formation, and Towson deploys to that side. Full house backfield for Chris Barrett. Now they switch out of the full house backfield, and Barrett drops back into the shotgun as the backs are split. They send Lodovici wide to the near side, and they hand the football off to Kyle Swartz, who turns up the far edge, puts his head down, crosses the 40, picks up the first down, and goes out of bounds on the far side of the football field, out at about the 44-yard line. Nice run. Eddie Ocker coming up to make the stop, but a run that picks up the first down of the ball game for the Polar Bears, and they have it 1st and 10 just shy of their 45-yard line.
Well, that was a well-designed play by Northern, and Swartz did a nice job allowing his blockers to get out in front of him, and nice gain for the first down.
From the gun again, fakes a handoff, and they toss it to Kyle Swartz, who's into the far side of the line. He'll cross the 45 and get out close to the 46-yard line before he's stopped by the Greyhounds' Ethan Stauffer. Yeah, let's call it just a yard gain in the play. 2nd down and 9 as the ball's just at the 46. Running room to the near side of the formation as they move left to right. Towson comes wide to the near side, running room to that side of the formation as they show a double wing this time. Barrett under center, rolls to the near side, steps and throws, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Cameron Refuse, and incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down and 9. Coverage by Austin Kozier for Shippensburg. Had him open.
Yeah, he
Refuse
did.
just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, and Barrett dropped the snap, and I don't know if that rattled him a little bit or not, but he missed a wide-open receiver.
Again, Towson comes wide to the running room side of the formation. From the gun, rolling to the near side is Barrett, and he's going to run the football, puts his head down, crosses midfield, and is dropped just shy of the 1st down yardage at the Shippensburg 47-yard line by Ethan Stauffer for Shippensburg, It's going to be a couple yards short. We'll call it 4th down and 2, and it looks like the punting unit's on for the Polar Bears, Rob.
Yeah, good defense by Ethan Stauffer, because I thought that Barrett was going to had enough room for the to get the 1st down.
Barrett does the kicking, and Adam Hauser awaits the punt down at about his 10-yard line. High end-over-end kick that hits at the 15, rolls inside the 10, and is going to be down by the Polar Bears at about the 7-yard line. So a nice punt. Put Shippensburg deep in their territory for their first drive of the evening. 10:16 left to go in the first quarter. Polar Bears picked up a 1st down in that initial drive, but got stopped on the 2nd series by the Greyhounds. So here come the Hounds, led by quarterback Carter Van Syhock. And as they break the huddle, Philip Torres is the lone setback. 4 wide receiver set for Carter Van Syhock, who will work from the gun on 1st and 10 from about the 7. Send the man in motion, and they toss the football to number 15, Noah Chavez, and Chavez turns up the near side and is forced out of bounds just at the 20-yard line. Nice sweep up the near side by Chavez, who's a new addition to this Greyhound squad. Hosney making the tackle out of bounds, but that's going to move the chains for the Greyhounds, and a nice 1st down run.
Yeah, Chavez was on the team last year, but I believe that's the first time we've called his name this year, and that was a nice debut for the young man.
This time Gustafson to the near side. They put a slot to that side of the field. Now they put Hauser in motion, and he gets the toss. Tries to turn up the far side. Blockers out in front, looking for running room. turns the edge up the far side, crosses the 25, and gets out to about the 27-yard line. Nice run by Adam Hauser. He'll pick up 7 yards in the carry, and we'll call it 2nd down and 3. Nick LaRue on the tackle. As the ball's at the Shippensburg 27, so 2 nice runs by the Greyhounds offense.
LaRue, the leading tackler for Northern so far this year.
Freidinger goes to the far side. Gustafson to the near side. Double wing formation. As they put Chavez in motion, he gets the toss, and he turns up the near sideline off a left tackle, and he'll move the chains one more time out across the 35 and out to the 36-yard line. Kyle Swartz on the tackle, but the Hounds on the move here. This drive starting at their 7, and they have the ball out at their 36, 1st and 10.
A few new wrinkles in offense so far, Scott, putting the man in motion and pitching outside. Some good new calls so far.
Single set shotgun formation for the Hounds with a double wing formation. This time Hauser in motion, and he takes the handoff as a penalty marker flies and turns up the far sideline for a couple of yards out to maybe the 38. Should be about a 2-yard pickup on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8, and let's see what the penalty marker's about. Cameron Refuse on the tackle, and it's against Shippensburg, so it's going to be walked off. Holding against the Hounds will cost them 10 yards. Back down to the 25-yard line as the hold occurred at the 35. So instead of 2nd and 8, it will be 1st and about 21. Ball resting squarely on the 25-yard line. Gustafson to the near. Freidinger to the far. Lone setback is Torres, I believe. From the gun. Over the middle is the pass thrown to Adam Hauser, who catches it at the 38-yard line, twists and turns out across the 40, falls forward to the 44-yard line, and a penalty marker flies. Kyle Swartz on the tackle. But let's see if we've got a defensive penalty here.
Face mask?
Referee coming to the near sideline, and yardage being walked off against the Polar Bears. 5-yard incidental face mask penalty, but that'll give the Shippensburg Greyhounds a 1st down out at the 49-yard line.
Back to the play. Hauser with a nice move into the inside of the football field, and Van Syok didn't miss him. And got the extra yardage here because of the penalty.
Nice protection by the Shippensburg offensive line for Van Syok. 1st and 10 from the 49. Torres the lone setback. Chavez in motion, and they hand the ball inside to Torres, and he's going to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage and no further. LaRue on the tackle. They give him a little bit of yardage. That was pretty generous, so we'll call it a yard pickup, 2nd down and 9. The ball just shy of midfield. Freidinger to the far side. Gustafson to the near side. Double wing formation, and Torres, the lone setback from the gun. Hauser in motion, and the toss goes to him up the far side. Looking for blockers out front. Looks inside. Penalty marker flies as Hauser turns the corner. Crosses midfield and gets the ball down to the 46 of the Polar Bears, but I believe we've got a holding call against Shippensburg. Cameron Refuse on the tackle. Let's see what the marker is about.
Well, Hauser had a bunch of blockers up front, and one of them committed to hold.
Holding call at the line of scrimmage, so the walk-off will go back to the 39-yard line of Shippensburg. 38-yard line of Shippensburg. That's an 11-yard penalty. So we'll call it 2nd and 20. Generous walk-off by the umpire there. Hounds have running room to the near side. Gustafson in the single set gun. Straight back to pass, has to elude some pressure, looks down the far side of the football field as Kane Freidinger wide open, and it goes right through his hands at the 35-yard line of Northern, incomplete. Mitch Wagner, step-by-step coverage, but Kane Freidinger had the coverage beaten, and he just could not hang on as he looked over his left shoulder to try to pull that one in, and it's incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 20.
Yeah, Van Sock did a nice job, had some pressure coming from the linebacker, and he stepped up and saw Freidinger open, but incomplete pass.
Running room to the near side, that's where Gustafson sets up. Again, double wing. Single setback shotgun. Back to pass as Van Syok steps up into the pocket, steps and throws, and he completes it over the middle at the 35-yard line. Down across the 25 and down to the 20-yard line goes Nick Gustafson for the Shippensburg Greyhounds, and a great backpedaling catch, and it's 1st and 10. Aiden Winger on the stop. What a catch.
What a catch and what a throw by Van Syok, as he was forced out of the pocket, but had some time, and he found Gustafson wide open in the middle of the field.
This time Gustafson comes to the near side, Freidinger to the far, running room to the near. Single set from the gun. Toss goes to Noel Chavez, who came in motion off of the wing on the far side, and he tries to turn up the near edge, but is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Lodovici for the Polar Bears. He'll lose a yard. 2nd down and 11 for Shippensburg.
Yeah, Lodovici, the 3rd leading tackler. As I mentioned, LaRue first, Zarek Jordan 2nd, and Lodovici is the 3rd leading tackler.
.557 as the Hounds are moving here. This time running room to the far side as they're moving right to left, north to south on the turf at Veterans Stadium. Adam Hauser in motion. He fakes to him. Karst Van Syok looks over the middle and in the end zone all by himself is Kane Freidinger for the touchdown. Pretty pass over the 3 defenders and right at the back of the end zone for the score.
That was a perfectly thrown ball by Carter Van Syok. He had plenty of time. Give the credit to the offensive line, and Freidinger wide open for the TD.
Shetters in to attempt the PAT. That was a pretty drive by the Greyhounds, partner.
Yep. A lot running early and some nice passing towards the end.
Sterling Shetter, number 31, to attempt the point after. Carter Van Syok to hold.
Van Syok to hold on the point after try. Ball is down. Shetter's kick is up. Shetter's kick is good. 5:40 left to go, first quarter at Shippensburg. 7, Northern, nothing.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted number 1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
9 plays, 93 yards. That may have been the nicest offensive drive of the season for the Hounds.
I agree wholeheartedly, and 71 yards were through the air for Carter Van Syok.
So Shetter set to kick it away to Kyle Swartz, who stands at his 10-yard line this time. Nice end-over-end kick. Hits at the 12-yard line and rolls out of bounds at the 5. So the Polar Bears will get good field position to start their second drive of the contest. Trailing 7-0 with 5:40 left to go here in this first quarter of play.
It's interesting how Shetter is kicking off tonight. He's instead of like the pooch kicks right in the middle of the field, he's getting some distance on that leg, but unfortunately too close to the sideline that time.
Ball placed down at the 35, and that's where the Bears will go to work. Moving left to right. Pottinger goes wide to the near side. And the handoff inside to Kyle Swartz, who slides off of left tackle, gets across the 40. and out to about the 41-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 yards on the carry out to the 40, so it will be 2nd down and 5. Swartz is the lone setback this time as Barrett works from under center. 2 wide receiver set. They send Lodovici in motion. And the handoff goes to Swartz, and he powers across the midfield stripe, picks up the 1st down at the Shippensburg 49-yard line. Great run by Swartz. Nicholas Welts on the tackle, but that moves the chains for the Polar Bears, and the ball's in the Shippensburg territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, we'll be calling his name all night long, Scott, as he's averaging 20 carries per game the first 7 games.
Swartz again sets up as the lone setback. 2 wide receivers set, 2-step drop, pass complete up the far sideline to Pottinger, who steps out across the 45 and goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, just across the 45-yard line down at the 44. He'll pick up 4 yards in the carry. It will be 2nd down and 6. Clock turning 4:10 left to go here in the first quarter. The Hounds lead it on a 93-yard scoring drive. 2nd down and 6. Swartz with the football. He puts his head down and still continues to run after he runs into a few Greyhounds down close to the 42-yard line. Ethan Stauffer led the charge, but Swartz is a power runner, and he picked up some real nice yardage, picking up about 3 more yards in the play. We'll call it 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, Ethan held on for dear life there. Had him around the waist and wouldn't let go. Good tackle.
Ball 20 yards in from the far side of the field. Swartz again will set up as the lone setback, and Barrett will work under center. Running room to the near side. They send Lodovici in motion for blocking, and Swartz again gets the call. He's pushed hard back after he crosses the 40-yard line by Naz Miner for Shippensburg, and Ethan Stauffer for the Hounds is going to get a couple. So we'll call it 4th down and about 2 as the ball's just across the 40-yard line of Shippensburg.
Yeah, it was a good play that time by the Shippensburg linebackers, and it looks like Northern is going to go for it here on 4th and short.
Swartz has done all the work except for one play in this drive. Again, the takeaway by Barrett. Ooh. He rolls to the near sideline, eludes a Greyhound tackler in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped shy of the 1st down yardage, and the Greyhounds will take over on down. Great work by the aggressive Shippensburg defense, led in there by Ethan Stauffer for Shippensburg. Just a super play that put a lot of pressure on Barrett. That slowed him up, and he couldn't get any momentum to pick up the 1st down, and the Hounds will take over.
Yeah, Christian Bortz was the first player in the backfield for Shippensburg, but he just could not bring the quarterback down.
2nd possession of the ball game for Shippensburg. And here come the Hounds. That double wing formation. Hauser goes in motion to the far sideline. Van Syok straight back to pass, looks down the far sideline and overthrows Hauser at about the 40-yard line. Kane Freidinger was also in that pattern for the Hounds, but that pass was intended for Freidinger as Van Syok threw into double coverage led by Carl Swartz for Northern. So the pass is incomplete, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Back to that last play that Northern ran, J.D. just whispered, he said, why in the world would you pass the ball on 4th down when you got that Swartz in the backfield?
Double wing formation. 2 wide receivers. Hauser goes in motion to the far sideline. He takes the toss. Looks for blockers out in front, doesn't have anybody, but he puts his head down, crosses the line of scrimmage at the 40, and is going to be dropped just shy of the 45-yard line by Lodovici for the Bears. Hauser will pick up 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Hauser was able to break 1 tackle as he went around the right side and put his head down and got a couple yards.
That was as naked as a sweep as you could come up with, because there were more white shirts than there were maroon jerseys in front of Adam Hauser that time. Freidinger to the far side, Gustafson to the near side, running room to the near side. Again, single set shotgun. Chavez in motion to the near sideline. Here comes the pressure. Van Sciak eludes one polar bear, but he's not going to get away from the second one. And he is sacked back at the 37-yard line by Cameron Refuse. A lot of pressure that time by the Bears, and Van Sciak could not get away. So the loss makes it 4th down now and about 13.
Yeah, good credit to the Polar Bear defense. They were just all over that backfield.
Eddie Ocker in to punt to Evan Kasner. Short kick, hits at the 35-yard line, goes across the 30 down to the 25-yard line, but a penalty marker back behind the line of scrimmage for Shippensburg.
Roughing the kicker, maybe?
And they're going to bring this one back. Yep. Running into the kicker is going to give him a 5-yard penalty. So it's going to be a 5-yard call. Now that's going to be refused. So Shippensburg will refuse the penalty, and the Polar Bears will take over at their 25-yard line after the Ocker punt.
Well, Ocker under a lot of pressure, but did get a decent punt off.
55 seconds left to go in the quarter. The Hounds lead at 7-0. This time 3 wide receiver set with the slot to the near side, and Swartz in the backfield behind Barrett. Barrett under center. Barking signals 1st and 10. Draw play to Swartz, and a big opening across the 40. 1st down, Northern out at the 43-yard line. He had a lot of daylight to run through off the far side. Josh Connor making the tackle. But a nice run by Swartz, and it's 1st and 10 Northern at their 44.
Yeah, a couple of their Greyhounds try to tackle him around the ankles, and that doesn't do very well there with that big boy.
Single wide receiver to the near side, full house backfield behind Barrett. And he hands off to the fullback. That's Lodovici, and Lodovici will cross the 45 and get to the 46. Pick up a couple. 2nd down and 8. James Monahan was there. Derek Kunkelman there for the Hounds. Impressive running by Kyle Swartz so far in this game.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete.
And Northern's going to let the clock run to 0 here in the first quarter. We've played 12 at Veterans Stadium in Shippensburg. It's Greyhounds 7, the Polar Bears nothing.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Good first quarter by the Shippensburg Greyhounds as they scored on their initial possession of the ball game. 93-yard, 9-play scoring drive has put them out in the lead by a score of 7-0. We're ready for quarter number 2. And my cousin and partner, Rob Ebersole, play-by-play.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a very entertaining first quarter. It was good to see Coach Faust and the rest of the staff letting Carter throw the ball downfield more than once. So it's 2nd down and 7 for the Polar Bears from their own 46. Barrett under center. Back to pass. Throws to the far side, and this is Townsend. And Townsend drops the ball. Incomplete. Eddie Ocker on the coverage, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. Townsend, the leading receiver for Northern.
Polar Bears have run the ball very effectively, Rob, but passing hasn't gotten started yet.
Waiting for the clock to start. So 3rd down and 7. Lodovici is split to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side. Barrett under center. Rolls to his right, throws to his right, and it's almost intercepted. Incomplete pass. That was Eddie Ocker over there. Not a good throw by the Northern quarterback. 4th down, and Shippensburg will get the ball back.
Eddie Ocker had to dive to try to pick off that Barrett pass and just could not come up with the football.
Barrett had a receiver open over there, but threw it wildly. So Barrett will punt it away to Adam Hauser back at his own 20-yard line. Just getting started here in the 2nd quarter. Good snap. Nice kick. Hauser will let it bounce, and it goes right by him. It's going to end up being a really good kick inside the 5-yard line, and Shippensburg will be back at their 4. That's where they'll start this offensive possession.
I'm not sure that was the best move by Adam Hauser. No. Didn't have a lot of punt coverage team on him. I think he could have picked that up and run with the football.
And that happened in the 1st quarter, too. The first punt, he let it go by him and ended up not quite as deep as it is now, but Shippensburg.
They had a 93-yard scoring drive. Let's see what they do this time
There
inside the 5.
Backs are split. And this is Torres. Torres fights forward. A nice gain. He's going to be a gain of about 6. It would be 2nd down and 4. Refuse on the stop for the Polar Bears. Make it gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
How did he pick up those 7 yards? I mean, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage.
It's a little dude, and he just was hiding underneath everybody and scooted through for the good gain. And this is Hauser over the left side. Hauser fights forward. See where they mark the ball. It's going to be close to the 1st down. I think they're going to call the 1st down as a chains move. LaRue on the stop for the Polar Bears, and Sanchez also. So the 1st down for the Greyhounds, and they have a little breathing room out to about the 15-yard line. Under center again is Carter Van Syok, and he hands the ball off. This is Torres again. Torres into the secondary, and another 1st down, at least close to it. That was Refuse on the tackle again, but a gain of 10 and a 1st down for the Greyhounds.
And the Hounds have really been effectively mixing it up on the ground and into the air so far in this 1st half, and they've been moving the football, racking up the yardage.
A lot of tosses and sweeps in the 1st quarter, and now Torres up the middle, and Hauser will get the ball, and Hauser fights forward. Hauser into the secondary, another 1st down over the 40 to the 42, 43-yard line, and Adam Hauser with another 1st down for the Greyhounds. LaRue finally brings down Adam Hauser, and Shippensburg a minute or so ago was at their own 4, and now all of a sudden they're at their own 43.
Nice blocking up front by the Shippensburg offensive line too, Rob.
Frodinger to the near side. Connor in the slot to the near side. And Van Syok back to pass. Flips it out. This is Hauser. Hauser at about the 47, and he's pushed back by Kyle Swartz. Forward progress will be to the 48-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 for the Greyhounds.
Somebody on the near side of the Shippensburg offensive line got away with a huge hole because they had 2 fists of white jersey and never drew the flag.
2nd and 5. Shippensburg up 7-0. And some movement up front. No flag. This is Torres, and Torres is going to be thrown for a loss. Schwartz leads away along with Ludovici. So they're going to say no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, a little movement by the defensive line, but I don't think they were into the neutral zone. Did a nice job of walking that tightrope to stay out of that zone.
Officials timeout. Adam Hauser having a problem with his helmet, but seems to be okay. So the clock starts again. 8:30 remaining here in the first half.
Big backfield in there now. Wells and Stauffer checked into the lineup.
Welts is in the backfield. So's Eddie Ocker and Ethan Stauffer. This is Hauser over the left side. Hauser cuts it back in. 1st down and more inside Northern Territory to about the 45-yard line. Another nice run by Adam Hauser, and LaRue with another tackle, but that will move the chains. 1st down Shippensburg at the Northern 44.
Well, Adam had a couple of big boys out in front doing the blocking for him that time, and that really enabled him to pick up that 1st down. Nice job.
Different offensive look that time. Hauser and Torres are split. And this is Torres, and Torres kicks it outside. 40, 35, 30, 27-yard line. Another 1st down, and refused with another tackle, but Torres headed up the middle of the line and kicked it outside. It was Connor?
No, that was Josh Connor. Made a heck of a block on that play for the Hounds.
So Torres with a big gain. 1st down at the 27-yard line. And this is Chavez. Chavez looking for some blockers and nothing doing that time. Nice play by Benjamin Collins. Reps up Sanchez, and that's going to be a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, nice pursuit on the back time that time by Collins. And he was just quick off the ball and able to pull Chavez down from behind for the loss.
Okay, 2nd down and long now for the Greyhounds. Ridinger to the near side and Gustafson to the far side. Connor in the slot again. Van Syok back to pass. He's being pressured. Now he looks to the left, throws left, and it is caught by Gustafson. No, incomplete pass. Kasser on the stop for Northern, on the coverage, I should say. One official didn't signal, but official farther away from the ball signaled incomplete pass, so it's 3rd down and 12. Couldn't tell from where we're at, but it was a pretty good throw by Van Syok. The clock is stopped at 6:21 mark. Adam Hauser's going to split to the far side and 3 receivers to the near side. Big 3rd down play for the Greyhounds. Van Syok has time to throw. Looks down the corner of the end zone. It is intended for Melendez, overthrown, so it'll be 4th down and 12 for the Greyhounds. Lodovici on the coverage for Northern. Looked like Melendez might have had a step, but it was overthrown. So, a lot of different names getting the action here in the first half for this Shippensburg offense.
Either you guys find that interesting?
Yes, very interesting. Back to pass. Throws downfield, and it is intended for Kane Friedinger. Incomplete. Wagner on the coverage. So Shippensburg will turn the ball over on downs, and Northern will take over 1st and 10. Yeah, I guess that was the 8th game playbook they brought out, saying, "Hey, we're gonna wait to a Northern game to do this." But
you're starting to give the District 3 opposition something to think about.
I guess I don't know, but so far it's working. Unfortunately, only up 7 points. And this is Swartz up the middle, and Swartz with a good game on 1st down. Wirtz on the coverage along with Colby Tracy. So gain of 8, second down and 2 for Northern. To the near side is Evan Kasser. And Swartz alone, setback behind Barnett. And this is Swartz. Swartz with the first down and more. Up over the 45-yard line. Christian Bortz on the stop for Shippensburg. That'll move the chains. First and 10 for Northern at the 47-yard line. And that young man is hard to stop, partner.
Yeah, he's a big kid, and he runs hard. He's not real low to the ground when he runs. You think it'd be easy to stop, but it's difficult.
He is listed at, 6 feet 190.
He looks bigger than that.
Yes. So Barnett's under center, man in motion. And this is Swartz with a pit over the right side, looking for some blockers. Nice pursuit that time by Shippensburg. Swartz is going to be tackled for a loss. Austin Kozer, a great defensive play. That's a gain or a loss of about 4. It'll be second down and 14.
Yeah, Kozer did a great job of slowing him up before he could turn the corner.
Second down and 13.
It was really good defensive pursuit. Not often you get tackle Swartz for a loss. Backs in the eye now on second down. And here's the delay to Swartz. And once again, the Shippensburg defense. And once again, it's Christian Bortz. Grabbed him by the ankles and wouldn't let him go. 2 back-to-back great defensive plays by the Shippensburg defense.
Now, this Shippensburg defense has just come alive over the last couple of weeks. Aggressive as all get out, swarming after the football and making some really great plays.
So 3rd and 15, and as we've mentioned so far, Barrett has not really had a good game passing the ball. Let's see what happens on 3rd and long, and he's back to pass. Being pressured, throws downfield, overthrown. Townsend, the intended wide receiver. Cobb on the coverage, so Barrett overthrows his receiver. Incomplete pass, and Shippensburg will get the ball back.
So once again, the Polar Bear offense kind of stumbles, being forced to throw the football, and they don't do that very effectively, and they've got to punt it away.
Barrett will punt it to Adam Hauser, standing about his own 25-yard line. There's another end-over-end kick. Hauser grabs it, and he's going to the left side. He's up over the 30, and that's where he's going to be tackled, about the 31-yard line. Hauser slow to get up, but Wagner on the stop. Oh, yes, modern technology at its best here in the press box tonight. We have one good Northern roster to read off of, so we're passing it back and forth. That time not very successfully. So first down, Shippensburg. 7-0 lead. 3:32 remaining here in the first half. See them get some more points here. Van Syk under center. And this is Chavez, and Chavez is going to go nowhere. He's going to lose maybe a yard. LaRue, another tackle for the Polar Bears.
Well, he moves off the ball in a hurry, does he not?
Yes, he does.
And he I don't know where he sets up. I think it is an inside linebacker position. But he's only 5'11" and 221 pounds, but he shows some quickness off the ball.
Loss of 1. Second down and 11. Man in motion. And this is Sharrow, and Sharrow around the left side, and he's tripped up, and that's going to be another loss. Jordan on the stop. It's all the way back to the 26-yard line, and it's all of a sudden 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, at that time, a couple of defensive linemen were quick off the ball.
kind of getting used. Shippensburg has run that play an awful lot here so far in the first half. So 3rd down and long. Carter's going to have to be careful. Doesn't want to do anything dumb here on 3rd and long. Back to pass. He has some time. Throws to the near sidelines. A nice play by Mitch Wagner as he knocks it away from Caden Freidinger. Ball was right there, but that's great defense. Incomplete 4th down.
Yeah, Wagner did an outstanding job of getting between the passer and the receiver, and he was able to knock that ball away from Caden Freidinger.
Okay, so Eddie Ocker back to punt the ball. And this is Kassar, and Kassar goes nowhere. He's stopped immediately by Gabe Long. But good field position for Northern as they take over at their own 47-yard line.
Polar Bears have shown a few bright spots on offense, but they've not been able to sustain any kind of a drive here in this first half whatsoever. But they've got excellent field position to start this one.
And I believe all 3 timeouts.
Quick moving first half.
Schwartz. Schwartz is tripped up at the line of scrimmage. That was Colby Tracy, and Tracy is down after the tackle. Once again, Schwartz tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and we're going to have a nope. Now Tracy gets up, so he'll have to come off the field. Doesn't want to. But the coaching staff is going to make him come off or release the play. But that was a great tackle, Scott.
Yeah, it really was a nice tackle, and I'm not exactly sure why Coach Faust was out in the field talking to the officials, but he walked the whole way out to where the ball was put down.
Actually, I'm going to give him a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Coach Faust likes to talk to the officials.
Yeah, he does. It's a constant conversation, although that has to be 2 ways to be a conversation, right?
That is correct. Barrett back to pass near side, and it is tipped away to the last minute by Welts. A penalty flag comes in. See what this is all about. But nice, Gassar was the intended receiver. That was a nice play by Welts to knock it away, and it looks like it's going to go against Northern. Holding. So that will move the ball back all the way to the 35-yard line. Once again, Barrett couldn't get his receiver, and almost an interception.
That umpire likes to walk off 11 yards on a 10-yard penalty.
Oh, someone's flag's at.
No, the flag was not where it was.
Right, it was 10 yards from where the flag was, and that's where, 2 yards in the backfield.
All right. Whatever.
We'll have that conversation off.
2nd down and 25. Schwartz backs outside. He breaks a couple of tackles, but he is going to be stopped after a short gain. Josh Connor on the stop. Schwartz fights forward to about the 42-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and about 16. 1:06. And doesn't look like the Polar Bears are interested in calling any timeouts on the 3rd and 25. So we're under a minute here in the first half. 3 down linemen for the Greyhounds. Barrett has plenty of time, throws it downfield, and it is almost caught by Lodovici, then dropped. So it'll be 4th down and 20 now. Another flag. Welts on the coverage for the Greyhounds. Let's see what this is all about.
I'm not sure this isn't going to go against Shippensburg if I saw it correctly.
And all the officials are, 4 of the 5 officials are talking it over now. Now they're asking Coach Faust. I think they're going to decline this. Must be on another holding or personal foul. So that will be declined, and Barrett will have to punt it away. was confusing. Adam Hauser back to receive the punt. 43 seconds remaining until halftime.
Shippensburg has all 3 timeouts as well.
Barrett, high, short punt. Hits at the 35. Hauser has it at the 28-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds immediately, so Shippensburg will have first and 10 at about the 30. Kasser on the stop. So I think, partner, what do we do? We try, or we just take a knee and go into the locker room?
I think you got an opportunity to throw the football down the field. You've thrown it pretty effectively on that opening drive that scored 7. Why not try it again a couple times? What do you have to lose?
That's right. Shippensburg will get the ball to start the third quarter. So Freidinger goes to the near side along with Melendez and Gustafson. Hauser to the near side. First down. Van Syk has to step up, and he's going to be sacked at the 23-yard line. Bresky on the stop. So Van Syk didn't have enough time to look downfield, and now they'll just let the clock stop, and that is going to be the end of the, well, do they have to snap? I don't think so.
I don't believe, but
no, they're just going to let it run. So Shippensburg will take a 7-0 lead into the locker room at the halftime, and we'll be back.
Timmons Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmons folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmons Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmons family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmons Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmons Oil at 532-3740. The Timmons family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
Halftime at Shippensburg's Veterans Stadium, Memorial Park, where the Shippensburg Greyhounds lead the Northern Polar Bears by a score of 7-0. Hounds scored on their opening drive, which covered 93 yards and 9 plays. Otherwise, it's been a lot of back and forth by both of these teams. Shippensburg, I think, will probably have the offensive advantage when we look at the first half statistics, but a fast-moving and I think a good first half for Shippensburg. Rob.
Yeah, they really came out throwing the ball, especially in the first quarter. Different formations, different offensive players out there, and kind of surprised us, but they did well. Second quarter, not as much, but they were able defensively to keep the Polar Bear offense from scoring. The Schwartz kid did a heck of a job running, but towards the end of the first half, Scott, they did a little bit better defending him, didn't let him get into that open field.
Yeah, and the other thing that I thought they did better in the second quarter too, Rob, was the Polar Bears put a lot more pressure on Carter Van Syk.
Yeah, they did, and that obviously forced him to try to move up into the pocket, and obviously not the most nimble guy back there in the quarterback position. And so Northern kept it close here at 7-0 at the half.
So the scoring in that first half was just that first drive by the Greyhounds.
Yeah. Kane Freidinger, 21-yard pass, and a beautiful throw by Carter Van Syk into the middle of the end zone, and Freidinger pretty much wide open, and the Shedder kick, but that's it. And wasn't sure what was going to happen as far as how this was going to play out as far as scoring was concerned, because it's pretty two evenly matched squads. The record doesn't show it, but just quite the rivalry in the last decade or so, as they played a lot of great games, a lot of close games. So not surprising that it's only 7-0 here at the half.
Shippensburg Marching Band, about 180 members strong, performing for this crowd on this Friday night, week 8 of the football season. Hounds lead at 7-0. We'll be back with more in our halftime show after this.
Every day, the Shippensburg News Chronicle makes it their business to cover local news. From breaking news to features, from local government to sports, the News Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News Chronicle. The print edition, the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News Chronicle has been reporting on the people and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Halftime. Rob Ebersole, Scott Smith, J.D. Davidson. And J.D., your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Shippensburg with a great game plan to start the game. Came out in a totally different offense than what Northern was expecting. Got the running game going. Then once they got the big third down pass, 32-yarder to Gustafson from Van Syok, and then the 21-yard touchdown pass, that was a great way to start the game for the Greyhounds. The defense has looked solid so far tonight. Swartz has got loose a couple times and got some runs, but the one thing here is Northern starting around their own 35, not around midfield. So once they cross midfield, Shippensburg's defense is stiffened up and forced the Polar Bears to punt. Unfortunately, we started deep in our own territory another time and moved the ball, got to the 30 of Northern, but then Hauser came out of the game. He's banged up on, I don't know whether they had the wind knocked out of him up. They checked him out for a play. Lost 2 in a running play and 3 incomplete passes. Turned the ball back over to Northern. So there was one missed opportunity in the first half. But Shippensburg's doing a great job mixing up the pass and the run. The unfortunate part is after the hot start with the passing game's been a little bit quiet. I think Northern's done a nice job of covering the receivers so far here in the first half.
Yeah, it's a good point. And talk a little bit about the different offensive options have been out in the field so far this evening for the Greyhounds.
Well, Greyhounds, they started with a shotgun, single back, double wing, double split end, and they send the wingman in motion and basically going either a toss, sweep, or an inside handoff to get them started. Then they went back to their regular offense, and Torres and Hauser really got that third drive that Shippensburg had going and got him into Northern territory because they're picking up, 10 yards at a time and so forth. And, unfortunately, like I said, Hauser came out and then so forth. But then Shippensburg's also, they got their passing game where they got the 3 wide receivers to one side, one on the other side, and so forth. So they're doing a really good job mixing it up here so far tonight. And, we haven't even seen the Greyhounds run out of the I formation yet tonight, which they've done a couple times here in the past couple of weeks.
Well, let's go over the first half statistics brought to you by Chamberlain's Pest Control.
Okay, Northern 16 rushes in the first half, 86 yards. Swartz 13 for 72. Barrett passing just 1 of 5 for 4 yards. 90 yards total offense for Northern, 4 first downs. For Shippensburg, 18 rushes for 97 yards in the first half. Torres 5 for 46. Hauser 5 for 40. Chavez 5 for 18. Carter Van Syok passing 4 for 11, no interceptions. 76 yards and 1 touchdown. Hauser 2 catches for 23 yards. Gustafson 1 for 32. Kane Friedinger 1 for 21, 173 yards. Total offense for Shippensburg, they had 9 first downs in the first half. On the defensive side of the football, Stauffer with 7 tackles. Bortz with 3 solo tackles. Welts with 3 tackles and a pass breakup to lead the Greyhound defensive surge.
Yeah, Welts had a good first half defensively.
Yeah, and that's coming off last week when he had an interception and fumble recovery last week. So he's sort of been in the right, and he almost had another interception here tonight, just off the fingertips and so forth. So, the linebackers have improved as the season's gone on and so forth, and they're being in the right place at the right time to make plays.
Let's look ahead a little bit before we talk about what you're expecting in the second half with the game next week at West Perry, and then, of course, the regular season finale here in 2 weeks against Big Spring. Your thoughts on those last two games? Of course, we've got to win this one first.
Right, and we know West Perry, they like to sort of throw it around. That's what they did last year and so forth. So we'll need our pass defense next week. It doesn't look like neither West Perry or Big Spring have the defense to stop teams. Unfortunately, we don't like the scoreboard up either as ourselves. So they should be two very good ball games the next 2 weeks to end the season.
And your thoughts on the second half? More the same from the Greyhounds, hopefully.
More the same, maybe a little bit better execution in the passing game because, had those 71 yards in the first half and 3 completions in the first half, but just 1 completion in the first quarter, second quarter, then only just 1 completion and so forth. And maybe we get the ball to start the second half, so maybe we can put together a drive and get up by 2 scores and then make Northern have to really try to come back in the football. Northern's got to feel good. They got some nice runs out of sports in the first half, but they really never threatened Shippensburg's end zone and so forth. So they got to feel really good that they're only down 7-0. The fact that they really offensively weren't potent in the first half.
No, and one thing we talked about is their running game, obviously, with Schwartz is very good. You get them in third down yardage. It's 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15, whatever the case may be, and they do struggle a little bit. But conversely, let's talk about some of the games over the last few years where Shippensburg had a lead, close game, and fourth quarter disaster struck a couple times, and Northern came back and won the ball game.
Yeah, basically you just have to take care of the football tonight. Like I said, we talked earlier in the pregame. Fumble punt led to the undoing last year, and after they got that touchdown, then their defense just rose up, and we went 3 plays and punted, and we couldn't get them off the field, and so forth, and they were able to set up for a field goal and so forth, and kick the game winner with a little bit of time left to go in the ball game. So we're just gonna have to keep working away and eliminate any mistakes that we might have.
Thank you, JD, and halftime stats once again presented by Chamberlain's Pest Control. Scott and I will be back in a couple minutes.
Premier Events West Orange Street in Shippensburg is the place to go for excellent upscale food and service in the Shippensburg area. Premier Events is a premier banquet and special events facility that offers catering for all occasions in their beautiful chandelier-lit banquet room. All their delicious food is freshly prepared and can be served on or off-site at your chosen location. Call them today at 532-2279 to book your party and let your next event be a premier event.
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about.
Shippensburg Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet, powered by the Kramer Insurance Agency. 7-0 at halftime as the Shippensburg marching band, along with their Middle Spring counterpart and the elementary program, will be entertaining here shortly. But it looks like we may have a high school band player down on the field out there, Rob? Yeah, I believe over here, yeah. And they're attending to that person out there, so
interesting.
That'll slow down things. So anyhow, at Week 8, we start to look a little bit more importantly at where things stand in the District 3 playoff structure. And for Shippensburg right now, they're looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, they really are. We're texting back and forth last week. They were up to number 2 for a little bit, but then back to 4. I think it's because McDevitt and Strasburg probably didn't play till Saturday. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll go over the 4A first, then we'll go over the other classifications too real quickly. But Berks Catholic just rolling right along in Quad A is obviously we're very familiar with them.
Yeah.
From last year, and you never know. We might have to face them again this year. We'll wait and see. But they're tough. They're 7-0 in their first. Bishop McDevitt is second at 4-2. Lampeter Strasburg at 5-2. And then Ship, as Scott mentioned, 5-1. Now they're actually 5-2, but the game against Riverdale doesn't count in these classifications. Northern Lebanon, East Pennsboro, and East Pennsboro has a pretty good squad. And they have a heck of a running back too. What's his name? Onassis Neely. He has rushed for 1,565 yards so far this year. So that's a good team. Conrad Weiser, Susquehanna, Gettysburg rounding out the top 10. And then in the 11 through 16, there are 3 other teams in the Colonial Division: Northern York 11, West Perry 12, and Big Spring 16. Then, of course, Greencastle is outside looking in at 18 right now. So Shippensburg, they win the last 3 games, Scott, and unless something really wacky happens, I'm sure they're going to host a first-round playoff game this year again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's look real quickly at some of the other classifications. Harrisburg is just having a crazy year.
Oh, my.
They're 7-0, and Manheim Central is 7-0 also. They're second. Waynesboro in 5A, they're at number 7. And looking at the 6A, Cumberland Valley and Red Line, Manheim Township, Central Dauphin East, and Wilson, the top 5. AAA Middletown. Middletown is defending state champions. Doing well again, 7-0. Wyomissing also at 7-0 in AAA. Newport AA, and Steelton High Spire first in the A category. So we have no idea what is going on out in the field. We do know that there's a stretcher out there, and if we do get words of anything, we'll let you know. Shippensburg leading 7-0 here at the half.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted number 1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
Timmins Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmins folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmins Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmins family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmons Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmons Oil at 532-3740. The Timmons family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
Halftime, 7-0 Greyhounds over the Northern Polar Bears, and the band student was able to, with a little bit of assistance, walk off under her own power, thank you. No problem. She's sitting on the bench here on the near side of the field, but good to see her up and about, and I don't know if she hurt her leg or if she just collapsed there.
Well, JD mentioned something to me that has happened before, maybe not out on the field, but she gets overheated or whatever. I don't know the young lady's name, but and then she just loses.
Yeah, she's taking some water,
yeah,
so
she's all right.
Yeah, looks pretty good. So Greyhounds back out on the field, and here come the Polar Bears on the far side. Mentioned that next Friday night we take the trip up to West Perry. Haven't been up there for a few years, and looks like it might be the coldest night of the football season. Well, you cross those mountains,
right.
Rob, and it gets
Several
much
mountains.
colder. It gets much colder when you get on the other side.
Going north.
Get the Huskies out.
That one time, that's been a while, but that was, cold. So, yeah, it's supposed to be, low of 36 or something like that next Friday.
Oh, that's not bad at all. You'll still have shorts on.
I think I will.
Yeah, probably.
But anyhow, so, yeah, we got a half here and then those two games. And if you're JD and I talking, they're big contests. They're really decent teams this year, both of them, West Perry and Big Spring. So Shippensburg got to obviously finish strong here in this second half, but then two more pretty good opponents to finish the regular season.
Well, Shippensburg moved the ball very, very well on that first drive, but then couldn't put it all together to put any more points on the board. And that just seems to be the modus operandi this year, You look like they're going to play very, very well. They had, I think, an opportunity at Mifflin, and I didn't see that game, but you said they should have really put Mifflin away and didn't have the ability to do that. First game of the season, I think, was that way. That gets a little scary when you get a little deeper, and particularly when you're going to find opponents that are going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot better. But, yeah, that Mifflin County game, Mifflin County did everything they could to say, here, score on us, and they just couldn't do it. But I really like the way they did handle things in the first quarter, but again, they have to do that here the third and fourth quarters as try to get victory number 6 on the season.
Well, I don't think you want to give an opponent like Northern a little bit of an edge either, because they could make it difficult for you.
Yeah, you got to be impressed by the running back, and but really back to the Greyhounds and how well that defense played against Schwartz, mainly and later on in the second quarters. They just were not allowing him to get into the secondary, making some nice tackles to prevent him from going a long way.
And coming back to the district discussion a little bit, Rob, you look at the difference in the point standings when you get from 3, 4, 5, and 6. And even though Shippensburg, I think, was able to take advantage of those two big 6A victories,
right.
There's a lot of room in there, and it's going to take too much to make a huge difference in where you're going to wind up.
Yeah, the ranking of the ratings, Bishop McDevitt's .685, Strasburg .684, and Shippensburg .682. So that's about as close as it gets for 2 through 4. So one team loses and one team doesn't play well and the other team wins, they might be number 2.
And next week, sir, I want you to get that entire explanation out as to how they figure that all out.
I will do that. I will do some extra research tomorrow afternoon.
I got the eyeball from JD.
I think I did try to explain it last year, didn't I? I don't think I did a very good job.
I think you've tried to explain it the last couple of years.
Okay, well.
So both teams out of the field, and our second half kickoff is brought to you by Timmons Oil of Orrstown.
And Shippensburg will get the ball to start the third quarter. Weird. Stuff strewn all over this place here tonight, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Big football weekend here in Shippensburg. Homecoming up at SU tomorrow.
And who is that kicking off
That's
there?
It is
Coover, Jake Coover, thank you. That's the first we've called his name so far this evening. And looks like Melendez back deep to receive the kickoff from Coover. Jake Coover. Low kick, short kick, and it's going to be fallen on by an up back, Josh Connor, but Shippensburg will have it 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. So Coover, who's kicked a couple field goals this year for Northern, little squib kick to start the second half.
So we'll see if Shippensburg can't come out of the blocks here to start the second half like they did to start the ball game.
Carter Van Syok with 71 yards passing on that scoring drive of 93 yards. And he'll start with Torres in the backfield. And Chavez in motion, a missed handoff, blown play, so Carter has to run. Jordan on the stop. I'm not sure what happened there, but Van Syok looked around and nobody was there, so he falls forward. He did get a couple yards.
Chavez wasn't ready to take a toss, and Philip Torres didn't want the football either.
So Chavez, his first game of the year, and he's actually run the ball pretty well. So second down, call it 2nd and 7. And this is Torres on the delay. And Torres, 40, 45, midfield, 45. That could be a horse collar tackle, but nothing called. But Philip Torres with a long first down run. Samuel on the stop, and Shippensburg in Northern Territory.
And there's a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage for the Greyhounds.
Well, that's back where it's usually holding, obviously.
And that's going to destroy a beautiful run by Philip Torres. He manages to get 2 or 3 of those a contest, and that's too bad.
Yep. Going to go all the way back to the 25-yard line. So it's going to be second down and about 15. That's like the third holding call, I think, tonight.
Third one against Shippensburg. You're exactly correct, partner.
Torres in the backfield, Van Syok in the gun. He's back to pass, has some time, looking, throwing downfield, intended for Chavez, and pushing off is Schwartz. I hope they call it the defensive pass interference. They might call it on Chavez. I'm not sure. Let's see what the call is.
Well, Kyle Schwartz just shoved him out of the way. This crowd will go nuts if it goes the wrong way, I can tell you that.
Pass interference. Defense. So the yardage that was lost on the holding penalty will get gotten back by a little bit at least, so it'll be second down and 1, ball at the 41-yard line.
And that was a penalty that Schwartz just did not need to do either. That ball was well overthrown. I don't know why he pushed off the way he did.
I don't know if he thought he got touched first, or I don't know what it was, but that was a really bad play by Schwartz. So second down and 1. Chavez in motion. Here's the pitch to him over the left side, and he is going to go nowhere.
Nice.
A loss on the play, and that is Sanchez again, Blake Sanchez. So now Shippensburg's going to be faced with a third down and about 7 back at the 35-yard line.
So just when you think the Shippensburg offense is starting to click,
yeah, you're right.
It's not finding second gear, is it?
And I don't know, you run that play enough, and that defense is going to recognize it and make some adjustments, and that's what they have done. So third down and long.
Coach Faust is frustrated.
Melendez in the ball game. Back to pass. Van Syok throws downfield, and it's caught by Kane Freidinger, and that's going to be the first down. Nice route run by Freidinger. Van Zygot puts it right into his hands. First down. Wagner on this stop.
A down and out pattern right in front of Wagner at the 48-yard line of Shippensburg. Picked up the first down, and he ran a nice pattern that time.
Van Zygot had time. Give the offensive line the credit. So 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line.
Big third down conversion for the Hounds.
Back to pass. Again, rolling left is Van Zygot. His time looks downfield for Melendez. A little bit overthrown. Double coverage by Northern. Hosny on the stop, or on the coverage along with Kasser. But just a little bit overthrown. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he's got an arm, though. He
sure
really does. And when he needs a touch, he's got the touch.
Yep. Be interested to see what happens in his career next year, college-wise. I'm sure he'll get an offer to some school. He deserves it. JD just whispered they gained a little bit of almost a whole yard on the spot, but we'll still call it 2nd down and 10. Hauser on the delay, and Hauser tries to get outside, and he goes nowhere. Big guy number 66, Blashik, on the stop.
He's not all that big, Rob. He's only 5'8", 150.
He looked big.
Yeah, he did.
Big play that time. Hauser loses a couple. 3rd down and 12. Ball back at the 46-yard line.
As soon as you said big guy, that's when I went looking for his stats.
They look bigger than that. So 3rd and long now for the Greyhounds. And
Here
back
they
to
come.
pass. Pressure. Freidinger near sideline and tripped up by the defender. No penalty called, and Freidinger wanted one, but I think that was a good call. That was Wagner on the coverage. So it's 4th down, and Shippensburg will have to punt it away. That was a well-thrown ball, but Freidinger couldn't come up with it, so incomplete. Clock stopped, 8:56 remaining in the 3rd. Kasser is back deep. Eddie Ocker will punt it away. So Shippensburg unable to points on the board. And Eddie Ocker, pretty nice good kick. Kasser has it at the 20-yard line. Kasser still on his feet. 35 knocked down by the Shippensburg defender, but a good return. And the Polar Bears will have it 1st and 10 from their own 35. Ethan Stauffer on the stop. So Northern 1st and 10. And they break the huddle with the quarterback, Barrett.
Keep hanging around.
Backs in the eye. And this is Schwartz. Schwartz over the left side. He breaks into the secondary. Nice run by Schwartz on 1st down up to about the 42-yard line. Adam Hauser on the stop. A good gain. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3 for Northern.
The Northern line does a nice job opening up a hole for Schwartz. And he does a great job running through it.
Yes, he does. Kasser is split to the far side. Backs once again in the eye. Fullback is Coover. And this is Schwartz over the right side. Schwartz looking for their blockers. He breaks into the secondary, and this could be a touchdown. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Northern. And a Shippensburg player is down, but quite a run by Kyle Schwartz, a sophomore.
Luke Greenewalt was given a chase, but Schwartz just wasn't going to relent at all.
Well, he broke into the secondary in a hurry. Good blocking by his teammates. And Coover now will attempt to tie the ball game, and so we're still we're waiting to see who is injured for Shippensburg. Is back at the 45-yard line, so they'll wait till I can't quite see the number, so I'm not going to say it. Coach Faust out there, the referees out there looking, as well as some Northern coaches.
Well, Polar Bears just kept hanging around and hanging around, and Shippensburg's inability to drive the football.
And I believe that's Nick Welts. Yep. And he's being helped off the
ankle
field. His little ankle.
Right ankle,
yeah.
I believe.
Yep. He's walking on it very gingerly. So Coover will attempt the extra point. It's a 2-play, 65-yard scoring drive.
You knew Swartz was going to break one sooner or later,
Sure.
Rob. I mean, you just did.
Number 12, Eden Wagner will hold.
So Coover, the senior, tried to tie this ball game up. Snap, kick, it is good. 7:59 remaining here in the third. We're tied at 7. We'll be right back.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted number 1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
2-play, 65-yard scoring drive, and then we're tied at 7. Scott said it very accurately. We just play well and then kind of fizzles, and after a while the opposition is going to score, and that they did on the big 58-yard run by Swartz. So Coover will kick it away. Melendez back, standing as about his own 8-yard line. Adam Hauser not returning the kick. There's a squib kick taken, fumbled and fallen on by Josh Connor. And Shippensburg will start this possession at their own 32-yard line. That could have been disastrous there.
Sure could have been. That's about where they started the last drive.
And Adam Hauser is on the field for the Greyhounds. They break the huddle. Gustafson to the far side. Kane Frodinger to the near side. Backs are split on this first down call. And Torres over the right side. And that may be back to the line of scrimmage or a gain of 1. Worth on the stop. 2nd down and 9 for Shippensburg. They were ready for that call off tackle.
Well, here we are back again, running the ball, 1st down, running the ball, 2nd down, leaving yourself with not a lot of options, 3rd down and long in most instances.
Same formation. Connor to the other side this time. Van Salk back to pass, throws it downfield to Connor. Connor catches it, 1st down and more to the 45-yard line. Nice little flick of the wrist by Van Syok to Connor, and Kasser finally brings him down. Nice catch, nice throw, 1st down Greyhounds.
And he was throwing that off his back foot as he was actually backpedaling, Rob. Shows the strength of that passing arm.
Yep, nice catch by Connor, junior, 5'9", 155. 1st down and 10. And this is Torres. Torres fights forward to about the 48-yard line. 3-yard carry, 2nd down and 7 for Shippensburg. Ball marked at the 48. Yurchison on the stop for the Polar Bears. Head coach Bill Miller. Van Syok looking over the Polar Bear defense on 2nd down and 3. Back to pass, throws it down to Frodinger. Inside Northern territory. And Freidinger fights forward nicely for the first down. Wagner on the stop, but Freidinger with nice second effort, and he's going to move the chains.
Yeah, real soft coverage by the Northern Polar Bear secondary that time, and Freidinger just did a little hitch pattern about 6 yards down the field and to the near sideline, and was wide open to be able to make that catch and pick up the Greyhound first down.
1st and 10 at the Northern 44-yard line. Van Syok. Torres breaks into the secondary. 35, 33-yard line. That'll move the chains again. Yurtison finally brings him down, but a quick hitter by Philip Torres. First down, Shippensburg.
And the Hounds offense on the move here. This drive started at their 32. They had the ball down to the 34 of the Polar Bears. 5:45 left to go here in the third quarter. We're tied at 7.
First down, Shippensburg. And Van Syok will hand it to Hauser. Hauser off the right tackle, spin move, another first down inside the 20-yard line. Another great run by Shippensburg back. Refuse on the stop. First down and 10 at the Northern 20. Well, after that play back first down when Torres only gained a yard or two, Shippensburg is gaining big chunks of ground by the running game. And Torres again. Torres breaks a tackle. Torres still on his feet. 15 inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Sanchez on the stop for the Polar Bears. Gain of about 6, second down and 4 for Shippensburg.
Offensive line doing a really nice job right now on the defensive line of Northern, giving the Greyhound runners some opportunity to pick up some nice yardage.
Yeah, Torres with a nice run there, breaking the tackle. And now Hauser the other way, and Hauser's going to get wrapped up, and he is going to be thrown for a loss back to about the 20-yard line. Refuse again on the stop. That kid's been all over the place for Northern, along with Oliver.
Yeah, Jordan Oliver stopped Hauser in the backfield. Hauser managed to get out of the tackle, and then the follow-up by Refuse to bring Hauser down.
So third down and 8 now for Shippensburg. 2 down territory, I'm sure. And Northern brings the blitzers. Throws to the right side off the fingertips of Kane Freidinger, incomplete. A little bit overthrown, but I think he could have caught that ball. Coverage by Wagner for Northern. And Swartz.
I think Carter felt a lot of pressure that time, and he got rid of that football maybe before he wanted to.
Clock stopped. 4th down and 8. And as I mentioned, they'll go for it here on 4th down. Haven't tried a field goal all year, have they? I don't believe. So 3 receivers to the far side. Adam Hauser to the near side. From the gun is Carter Van Syok. Back to pass. Has some time. Into the corner of the end zone for Adam Hauser. Good coverage by Wagner. Incomplete pass, and that will give the ball back to Northern, as Shippensburg had a nice drive going, but couldn't convert. That was good coverage by Wagner. I don't know if he could have gone to a secondary receiver or not, but
Van Syok didn't look at anybody else. He was intended to throw that ball to Hauser no matter what the coverage was like.
So the Polar Bears 1st and 10. And this is Swartz, and Swartz falls forward over the 20 for a decent gain. Stopped by Monahan for the Greyhounds. 2nd down and 7 for Northern. Anytime you can hold Swartz to 3 yards, that's a moral victory. Three receivers to the near side. Hosney is one of them, backs her in the eye, and Swartz gets it again. And Swartz thought he was going to get tackled in the backfield, but he made a couple of nice moves and fights forward, and he's going to have a first down. Gabriel Long on the stop, along with Christian Bort. 1st and 10 Northern at the 30-yard line.
And he just waited for a fraction of a second for that hole to open up before he plowed through for the first down.
2:58 remaining here in the third quarter.
Boy, I don't know that you want to let Northern hang around like this.
Not at all. Timeouts. Northern. We'll be back.
Advantage Chem Dry has been locally owned and operated for over 20 years. We are your one-stop shop for all your flooring needs. Check out our virtual showroom at AdvantageFlooringPA.com. We carry the latest selection of hardwood, ceramic, carpet, vinyl, laminate, and LVT flooring. If you want all your carpet and flooring solutions in one convenient location, look no further. Our quality is guaranteed. Call me, Ashley, at Advantage Flooring, 532-9977 to set up a free in-home estimate.
So after the timeout, the first timeout of the game, will be 1st down and 10 for the Polar Bears. 7-7 tie here in the third quarter.
Hounds scored on the opening drive of the ball game for them. And then a great 57-yard run by Kyle Swartz to tie this ball game up by Northern.
Barrett from the gun this time on 1st down and hands it off to Swartz over the right side. Swartz looking for some blockers into the secondary. 40, 45-yard line. Nice run by Swartz. Shetter finally brings him down. That'll move the chains up to the 45-yard line.
He had Tony Lodovici out in front of him who picked up a really nice block that allowed him to run up that far edge and pick up that 1st down, Rob.
So it's 1st and 10 Northern.
Friediger comes off, and he looks exhausted.
Kasser, the receiver to the far side, backs in the eye once again on this 1st down call, and Swartz falls forward for about a 3-yard gain. Looks like Eddie Ocker on the stop for Shippensburg. Make it a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. So that was a nice, got to really trip that kid up right from the start. Don't allow him to get that head of steam because he is strong and fast. 2nd down call for Barrett. And the fullback gets it this time, and he goes nowhere. That was Austin Kozer on the stop. I couldn't see who that was running
Actually,
the ball.
Barrett.
That was Barrett?
He kept the football partner.
Well, he didn't do very well. 3rd down and 5. So big play at midfield here. Fullback in the eye with Swartz, and Swartz gets the ball. And Swartz falls forward. A flag flies. I think that they're flag down? Yes.
Yep.
That's enough for the 1st down. That should be a hold on Northern. Hutchison on the stop, and it is holding, so that will negate the 1st down.
JD's been begging for a hold on a couple of successive calls. He finally got the flag thrown there.
Back to the 39-yard line. So now it's 3rd down and 16, and there's this position, Scott, the Northern offense unable to do much when they're facing that 3rd down and long. Jordan's the fullback, and fake to Swartz. Barrett's going to throw downfield, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Adam Hauser. He just stepped right in front of the intended receiver. Made it look easy, and Shippensburg has their turnover.
Well, you mentioned it before the play. The inability to convert on 3rd down forced them to throw the ball, and they don't do that very well. Threw into a lot of coverage, but a great pick by Adam Hauser to give the football back to Shippensburg out at the 47-yard line of the Hounds.
So good field position once again for Shippensburg. Got to take advantage of it. 3rd quarter almost over. And Carter will start off from the shotgun on first down. And back to pass. Has some time. Throws downfield. Adam Hauser. And, boy, it looked like that was interference. Kasser a little bit early, but the official was right there and doesn't call it. Second down and 10.
Yeah, nice coverage by Kasser. Batted that ball away right out of the hands of Adam Hauser.
40 seconds remaining in the third. Second down call for the Greyhounds. And Torres looks for an opening. Fights forward for maybe 3. Eric Jordan again on the stop for Northern. Give him 2. It's third down and 8 for Shippensburg. That might be the last play of the quarter.
Van Syok stares over at the bench, and they're not going to give him a play to work with and let the clock wind down to end the third quarter here.
So we have played 3 quarters here from Veterans Stadium, and we're all tied up at 7. We'll be back.
Every day, the Shippensburg News Chronicle makes it their business to cover local news. From breaking news to features, from local government to sports, the News Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News Chronicle. The print edition, the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News Chronicle has been reporting on the people and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com.
Well, it should be an exciting fourth quarter here tonight, and play-by-play Cousin Scott.
Final 12 of Week 8 from Veterans Stadium, tied at 7. Hounds faced with a third down and about 8 situation from their 49-yard line. Single set shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers to the far side as the Hounds move right to left in this final quarter. Carter Van Syok with the takeaway rolls to the far line, sideline, steps and throws and completes it in Polar Bear territory to Nick Gustafson at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a couple yards shy. Cameron Refuse on the coverage, and it'll be fourth down and about 2 for the Hounds.
I think they're going to punt it away, aren't they?
Well, Eddie Ocker's in there.
No, but Van Syok.
Is Van Syok still in the ballgame?
Yep.
Really? Okay. So Ocker's in there, along with Hauser and Melendez. The toss to Hauser. Blockers out in front, and he's not going to make the first down yardage. What a great tackle by Nicholas LaRue, the leading tackler for the Polar Bears, has denied the Greyhounds, and it goes back to the Bears on downs.
I'm sorry, partner. You can't do that. Not 7-7 game. You have to punt the ball away and play the field position game.
Totally agree. So Polar Bears will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line with just underway here in the third quarter, and the Hounds unable to convert on 4th down. So here come the Bears. Barrett at quarterback, under center with an I formation. Swartz is the tailback. He gets the call, and he slides in off of left guard and will get a couple of yards out to close to the 47-yard line. Max Cobb on the tackle. Let's call it a gain of really just 1 as they put the ball down at the 46, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Cobb listed at 5'8", 140, and he just grabbed Swartz by his ankles and didn't let go.
Jake Cover checks out of the backfield, and Zarek Jordan is the fullback now with a wing to the near side, running room to the far side of the field. Kyle Swartz looking for an opening, puts his head down and pushes the pile forward out to midfield, still on his feet in Shippensburg territory. Nice power run by Kyle Swartz. He just crossed the 50, picked up about almost 5 yards on the carry. Zach Hutchinson, but he was carrying, 4 or 5 Greyhounds with him?
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd down and 5.
That was crazy. Strength that kid has.
This time Towson comes wide to the near side. Backs are split from the gun for Barrett with the takeaway. Fakes the football to Swartz and tosses it to Lodovici, who is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Max Cobb for a 2-yard loss. And it'll be 4th down and about 7.
Well, that was an interesting 3 plays called by Northern, and Shippensburg defense did very well, obviously.
Barrett looks like he's going to punt to Adam Hauser, who stands at about his 20-yard line. Clock has stopped, 9:22 left to go in the game. Kick that does not turn over for Barrett, hits at the 25-yard line. Hauser picks it up at the 15, tries to get to the 16-yard line, but he's upended by Adrian Winger. So the Hounds will go to work with the ball at about the 18-yard line.
And again, don't you try to catch the ball in the air there? I don't know. I don't know.
7-7, 9-10 left to go in the game in regulation. Hauser comes to the near side and trips go to the far side. Philip Torres in a single slot shotgun. Carter Van Syok back to pass, looking over the middle, and he throws it short. Looking for Hauser out at about the 20-yard line, but that was not well thrown. That really looked pretty ugly.
Yeah, that did. That had no chance.
Evan Kasser on the coverage underneath.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to cover him at all.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. So this well-in-synced offense that scored on the Greyhound initial drive has just been floundering the rest of the ball game. They get the ball down inside the 20 and they can't score. Backs are split this time. This is Hauser looking for running room off of right guard, and he'll get across the 20. And let's see where his knee went down. It looks like about the 22-yard line. Spencer Bresky on the stop. So it'll be 3rd and 5 now for Shippensburg. Van Syok to the near sideline to get the play.
Yes, big play here.
Gustafson to the near, Freidinger to the far. Hauser and Torres in the backfield. Carter Van Syok wants to throws back against the grain, completes it to Adam Hauser, who slips on the damp turf and goes down back at the 20-yard line.
And they had that screen set up pretty well, Scott. Had a couple blockers in front and probably would have gotten the 1st down and maybe more.
And it's 4th down, and you got to punt it now.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's going to give the Polar Bears some really good field position. Eddie Ocker in the punt to Kasser, who stands at the Shippensburg 47. High kick, does not turn over. Hits at the 47 of Shippensburg and takes a Shippensburg bounce across midfield and is down at the 45-yard line of the Polar Bears.
Well, that was a great punt by Eddie Ocker when they really needed it.
The Bears will go to work with a short field, 55 yards in front of him. 7:41 left to go in the game. They have 2 timeouts left as they burned one in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7.
Well, we need another 3 and out here defensively.
Running room to the near side of the field as the Bears move left to right. Barrett under center. Handoff goes to Kyle Swartz, and Kyle Swartz is upended in the backfield by Eddie Ocker for a 5-yard loss back at the 40-yard line.
Wow, great play by Eddie Ocker. Not nearly as big as Swartz, but he just picked him up and put him down.
7:15 on a turning clock in regulation. I don't think you can keep giving the ball to Kyle Swartz, can you, Rob?
No.
This time Swartz sets up in a wing to the near side. And he's going to take the handoff, and he gets loose, turning up the far edge. squirms out of a tackle at the 45 and gets the ball out close to midfield. Stopped by Max Cobb, but great effort by Kyle Swartz to pick up any yardage at all. And he picked up 10, 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, that could have been a no gain at least, but Swartz' 2nd and 3rd effort. That's quite the run by the running back.
Ball 20 yards in from the far side of the field. This time full house backfield as Barrett's under center. Now they switch out of the full house and send just an I formation. And this is Swartz, and Swartz is going to get the 1st down off a left tackle. Wow, what a nice run. He put his head down as he crossed the 45, and he moves the chains at the 42-yard line of Shippensburg. Nick Welts on the stop, but it's 1st and 10 Northern at the 42.
Yeah, that's quite the weapon to have in your backfield when you need 4 or 5 yards, and that's what he got.
This time they set the slot up to the far side with running room to the near. I formation. And they hand the football off this time to the fullback, Zarek Jordan. And Jordan gets a push from his offensive line and moves the ball down across the 40, just inside the 40. Colby Tracy on the stop. But he'll pick up 3, 2nd down and 7. 5:20 left to go in regulation. Tied at 7. Northern on the move here at the Shippensburg 39. Towson goes wide to the near side. There's running room to the far side. Lodovici is on the wing to that side. Now he steps into the slot. And this is Kyle Swartz with running room and a lot of pressure, and he's going to have a 1st down across the 30.
They're going to call him down, Scott, I believe, before the 1st down.
Now they bring the ball back, to the 20 or to the 35-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and about 3 after a couple of yards.
Still another strong run. Good Lord.
Pottinger goes wide to the far side. Lodovici on the wing to that side. This is a fumble as the handoff went to the fullback, Jake Cover, but I think he covered it up, falling forward. He did. And the Bears retain possession after picking up maybe another yard on that fumble. And so it's going to be 4th down now, and let's call it a real short 3. As the ball's just at the 34-yard line of Shippensburg. And this might be the play of the ball game right here, partner.
Yeah, and who do you think is going to get the football?
Well,
so
Towson is over there with his coach, Miller, and they're going to call a timeout with 3:43 left to go here. This ball game tied at 7. The Polar Bears are faced with a 4th down and 3.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Head coach Bill Miller electing to take his 2nd time out here as the Polar Bears with a critical 4th down and 3 at the Shippensburg 34. Ball game tied at 7. They've got a 4 wide receiver set with Jordan the lone setback. Barrett from the gun, he's going to run the football. And Barrett's going to have a 1st down. Loose inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line of Shippensburg. How about that for a quarterback keeper? Cobb on the tackle, but it's 1st and 10 Northern at the 24-yard line.
Barrett's rushed for 481 yards coming into tonight's game, but that was an interesting call from the gun.
Jordan the fullback. Kyle Swartz, the tailback. Hand off to Swartz. Swartz off of right guard this time. Gets the ball down close to the 21-yard line. Eddie Ocker there for Shippensburg. They'll pick up a couple. 2nd down and 8. Colby Tracy also there for the Hounds. 2:57 left to go in regulation, tied at 7.
As I mentioned a couple times, Coover, their field goal kicker, has made 3 field goals this year.
Not deja vu all over again. Towson goes wide to the far side. Again, they set up in an I. Barrett looks over the defense. Barking signal 2nd down and 8. Lodovici in motion to the near side. Swartz cuts up the far side, puts his head down, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. A lot of great blocking on the far side of the formation. Is he in for the touchdown? Nope. He stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds at about the 5-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal.
That was another great effort by the running back, though, as he just took the ball, split out to the left side, and almost made it into the end zone. Wow.
2:16 left to go in regulation. The clock is stopped. Pottinger goes wide to the far side. Backs are split on either side of Barrett. Barking signals 1st and goal, and we got a whistle. And another timeout, the final timeout by the Polar Bears, with 2:16 left to go in this ballgame.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted #1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
So the drama builds here. 2:16 left to go in regulation. The Polar Bears, using their last time out, have it 1st and goal at the Shippensburg 5. Barrett from the gun. Backs are split. Lodovici in motion to the near side. Kyle Swartz looking for blocking out front. Steps back to the far side, then reverses his field, and he's in for the touchdown.
Wow. That was another great run. It looked like he was going to be stopped over to the left side, and he broke a tackle and ran right into the end zone.
And very nicely stepped inside of a block that allowed him to get into the end zone from 5 yards out for the score.
Well, Shippensburg has all their timeouts.
Hoover set to attempt the point after. There's the snap. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 2:13 left to go in this regulation football game, and the Polar Bears lead it 14-7.
Advantage ChemDry understands that your pets are an important part of your family, but what happens when they cause messes? We have a revolutionary pet urine removal treatment that's specially formulated to eliminate urine odors. We offer full evaluations, including treating your subfloor, carpet, padding, and new flooring replacement. Stop being embarrassed by your pet's accidents and call me, Ashley, at 717-532-8676 or visit us online at AdvantageChemDry.com. Get $20 off your pet urine removal treatment.
This crowd is stunned.
Yeah. So is this press box. Score the first drive of the game and nothing since. And battle of field position won by Northern here in this 4th quarter.
So Cover's going to kick it off. Back deep for Shippensburg is Christian Melendez. He's been kicking it short to Josh Connor all evening. Let's see what he elects to do this time. He's got a leg. Hounds have all 3 timeouts and 2:13 on the clock. Squib kick. Connor picks it up at the 33, out across the 35, and slammed down to the ground at about the 37 or 38-yard line. Luke Horvath on the stop. So we'll see where they put the football down. Yep, they're going to re-kick it again. What happened?
I have no idea.
Well, they're going to re-kick it. And the reason being, .207, they're putting a couple seconds back on the clock. But why are they re-kicking?
I don't know.
I have no idea why they're re-kicking. Yep, they're kicking it again. High kick this time, taken by one of the up at the 23-yard line. He's out across the 30 and goes down at the 33-yard line. Picking that ball up was Naz Miner for Shippensburg. And so Shippensburg will go to work now, 1st and 10 at their 33-yard line. Donovan Baer with the tackle. .203 left to go in the game. The Polar Bears lead it, coming from behind, scoring 14 unanswered points. They lead it 14-7. Torres the lone setback. Carter Van Syok wants to throw. Plenty of time. Comes to the near sideline. Throw back across the middle. And that was broken up by Zachary Jordan. It was intended for Gustafson at about the 35-yard line, but that didn't look very pretty either.
No, he was on his back foot again.
And yet a lot of time.
Yep.
Credit the secondary for just nobody to throw to. 2nd and 10 from the 34 for Shippensburg. 1:59 left to go in the game and all 3 timeouts. 3 wide receivers to the far side as they move right to left. Inside handoff to Torres, and Torres steps through one tackler. Counters out to the 36-yard line. Nick LaRue making the tackle. Torres will pick up 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. And Shippensburg calls a timeout with 1:51 left to go here in the game.
Well,
that's probably as good a description as anything, partner.
I don't know what to say. There's too much talent on this team. There's really I don't know. The offensive calls seem like they're all over the board, and I don't know.
So it'll be 3rd down now and 6 after the timeout for Shippensburg. That's their first timeout expended here in the half. They have running room to the far side as they move right to left. 4 wide receivers set with trips to the far side. From the gun, Torres to the far side of Van Syok, who has the takeaway. Steps and throws up the far sideline and completes it to Nick Gustafson, but it's going to be shy of the 1st down by about a yard, out close to the 43-yard line. Cameron Refuse on the stop. But it's 4th down and 1 now for the Hounds, and the ball game rests on this 4th and 1 play. And Shippensburg's going to take another timeout with 1:34 left to go.
Well, I think you have to take that timeout, even though you have 1 left, but this is obviously a big call. I don't know. What do you do here, bud?
Yeah, I think you, I don't know. Adam Hauser?
That's what I was going to say, but, it seems like here in this second half, they've just not been able to get outside more than a couple times, and that's what you'd want Hauser to do. But I'm sure the Northern defense is going to be expecting that. So
Hounds break the huddle. Here we
we'll
go.
find out.
4th down and a long 1. Ball at the 41 of Shippensburg. Kane Freidinger goes to the far side. Gustafson to the near side, running room to the near. Under center is Gustafson. And he is going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. Great sack by Trevor Colson. And the Polar Bears get the football at the Shippensburg 34-yard line. And Carter Van Syok didn't have an opportunity to do anything with that ball.
Yeah.
Colson made a super play.
Colson looked like he was on the
Shippensburg side of the ball.
I mean, Carter couldn't do anything.
Hounds have one timeout left.
Yeah, but I think that matters, doesn't
What a
it?
turn of events here for the Greyhounds tonight. Under center is Barrett with an I formation behind him. Kyle Swartz is going to get the call. He has blockers out in front, turns up the far edge, and gets the ball down close to the 25-yard line. Cobb on the tackle. Be a 7-yard pickup by Kyle Swartz, who's had a heck of a football game here tonight. He went out of bounds, and that stops the clock with 1:24 left to go. Ball resting at the 26-yard line of Shippensburg.
A little bit of help there for Shippensburg going out of bounds.
Running room to the near side. Again, the backs are in an I. And this is going to be Barrett on the quarterback keeper. He'll slip across the 25 and get the ball down close to first down yardage. And Shippensburg's going to use their last timeout. Ethan Stauffer on the tackle. Barrett's going to be just shy of first down marker, so it'll be third down and less than 1. So Shippensburg, unless something dramatically happens here, is going to go to 5-3 on the season, and it'll be interesting to see what this loss does in the district standings tomorrow afternoon. Northern Polar Bears will pull ahead of them in the Colonial Division, because there's a lot of teams all bundled up there, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
And, have to wonder now, too, what their psyche is going to be next week. And they have to travel to West Perry.
After the timeout here, Shippensburg's their last. It'll be third down and less than 1 for the Polar Bears. Ball at the Shippensburg 24. Again, Swartz dots the I, and he gets the call, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Great defensive play by Ethan Stauffer for Shippensburg. But the clock was not running. And the Northern coaches up above us just are screaming to beat the band, as the loss is back to the 30. Put the ball down, guys, please. 30-yard line. So it's a loss of 5 on the play. We'll call it fourth down now and about 6.
There's
50 seconds left in the clock. Fourth down.
I thought didn't the referee signal for
They're going to run the ball down, run the clock down as far as they can.
I saw the referee signal for a timeout.
Umpire comes up over the ball as the clock's down to 29 seconds. And 5 yards will be walked off against Northern on the delay of game penalty. That'll stop the clock with 23.2 seconds. That'll make it fourth down now and about 12 as the ball's resting at the 35-yard line of Shippensburg.
Well,
and Coach Faust is out in the field, and he's looking for an explanation from the referee. He's pointing to the clock and talking to the referee and the line judge on this side of the field, and the line judge is going, yes, yes, yes.
Well, I don't know if he's questioning the fact that the referee did Yeah, they're going to put some more time on the clock, 35.
Now they're going to put time back on the clock. 35 seconds is the time back on the clock, and it's 4th down now and 12, and it looks like Chris Barrett's in to punt it away. And why not? Adam Hauser stands at about his 4-yard line. Ball is down. Here comes the pressure. Barrett gets it away, and it goes out of bounds on the far side of the field. Let's see where it went out of bounds. Well, on the 2-yard line. Can you get any better than that? I mean, that was a pure coffin corner kick.
Yeah, that was a great kick by Barrett. Wow.
And so Shippensburg will work from the 2-yard line with 29.3 ticks left in the game, trailing 14-7.
And obviously the defensive backs are going to play, you think, way back.
Hounds break the huddle. Set up 3 wide receivers to the near side. Philip Torres is the single set. From the end zone, Carter Van Syok looks to the near sideline, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Evan Kasser at the 15-yard line. Pass was intended for Kane Freidinger, but Kasser made a nice defensive pick, and the Northern Polar Bears are going to defeat the Shippensburg Greyhounds here tonight.
Yeah, Carter threw that a long way because he was in the end zone, but nice play by Kasser to step in front of the receiver.
Barrett will take a knee. And that's going to be it. Final play of this football game. As the Northern Polar Bears came from behind to score 14 unanswered points tonight and have defeated the Shippensburg Greyhounds in another classic Polar Bear Greyhound matchup. Our final score from Veterans Stadium is Northern 14 and Shippensburg 7.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Timmins Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmins folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmins Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmins family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmins Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmins Oil at 532-3740. The Timmins family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about.
Wow, what a loss for the Shippensburg Greyhounds tonight, Rob. 14 unanswered points by the Polar Bears, and it's a 14-7 Northern victory.
Yeah, just obviously not able to muster any offense at all after that opening drive. I mean, they had some chances, but Northern really played well, and then offensively they did what they had to do with Swartz, and they just played better in Shippensburg, and we were worried about that. That's happened before against these two teams, that Shippensburg just isn't able to score any points, and next thing you know, they've lost the game, and that's basically what happened tonight. I mean, there's just no excuses.
Yeah, inability to be consistent on offense. They moved the ball pretty effectively, but a couple times in the red zone they could not score. And Northern just kept sticking around. I don't think the defense was as aggressive tonight as it has been in the past, and J.D. was awful quiet there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was, but, give Northern credit. They had a game plan, and they stuck to it, and, they just kept on giving the ball to Swartz all night, and he, wore us down there in the fourth quarter and got the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, keys as to why Shippensburg just couldn't pull it off tonight.
Well, every time we got going, and this team's shown that when they get it going, they can get it going, but then whenever they have a negative play, you don't get anything on first down, and either an incomplete pass or nothing on the ground. And then second down, you get nothing again or very little. Now you're in third and long. We haven't shown the capability too often to overcome that. And we don't have any real breakaway speed on the outside of the receivers like we did in the past that can get some separation and run away from defensive players. I think that's where we're sort of lacking at on the offensive side. I mean, they do a fine job catching the ball, working open from time to time, but actually, being able to separate from time to time is where it has been difficult.
Yeah, and I just don't think there's that consistency. There doesn't seem to be some momentum to keep it going, keep it rolling. There just seem to be too many different offensive sets to look at, and just not real consistency there.
Yeah, but I mean, they were doing well tonight. I mean, they're, and it's not like they were switching back and forth a whole lot of times. They, got some runs, and then, the plays they were running, getting yardage, they went back to them, and Northern, had the right defensive play called, and, throw it for no gain or a short loss, and then an incomplete pass, and, the drive stalls out. The big play of the game, like Rob said there, we went for it on fourth down at Northern's 45. That just changed field position right there in the 7-7 ball game. Should have punted it, forced them to go the length of the field, because Northern showed the same thing, that they could go, from like their 30 to our 40, but then they would start to bog down a little bit, and our defense would, got used to what was going on and would make the stop. But, give them the ball around the 50, then they're able to put it in for the game-winning score.
Let's take a look at the Chamberlain's Pest Control stats.
Okay, for Northern, 39 rushes, 236 yards in the ball game. Swartz, 30 for 203. Northern passing 2 for 7, 1 interception for 1 yard. Shippensburg, 33 rushes, 127 yards. Torres, 12 for 74. Hauser, 10 for 52. Carter passing, 10 for 25, 1 interception, 118 yards of total offense for Shippensburg. Defensive side of the football, Eddie Walker with 9 tackles. Ethan Stauffer with 6. Maxwell Kolb with 8 on the Greyhound defensive side of the football. Next week at West Perry, look to rebound and finish the season off maybe with a 2-game winning streak at the end of the year.
Okay, well, thank you, J.D. As always, we appreciate your insight, and your stats are just right on top of everything. Next week, 6:45 on the air, we will be at West Perry. We hope you will join us on SE Sportsnet. Coverage of Shippensburg High School football is an exclusive and copyrighted feature of SE Sportsnet and the Shippensburg High School Athletic Department. Any use of the descriptions and accounts without the consent of SE Sportsnet and the Shippensburg Area Senior High School is strictly prohibited. Once again, our final score tonight, Northern 14, Shippensburg 7. For Rob Ebersole and J.D. Davidson, I'm Scott Smith. You've been listening to coverage of Shippensburg Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet.